Philosophically, all the things that we've talked about
Yeah.
in this place, since I first met you and since we first started, have all been centered around kids, developing student athletes, developing young men. You're putting a team together. You know you're going to get strong baseball players from all over the area. That's what you're going to get at AP. You know that. You're evaluating these kids. For the parents that are watching this video, for kids that are watching this video, they want to play for AP, they want to play for Coach Fatse. Those, give me 3 or 2 or however many come to the top of your head, the intangibles as a coach and somebody who is running this place, what you want in your student athletes. And what do you want, I think just as importantly, who do we want them to be when they leave this place?
I'd say a big piece to what I want is I want kids that first and foremost have passion for what they do, because I think AP Academy is a place where passion and purpose kind of come together. So you start to understand what you like to do, maybe what you're good at, and we kind of help create a path for you to kind of, facilitate a lot of your player development experience. So I think passion is one. I think obviously having a strong work ethic and taking pride in how you do things on and off the diamond's a very, very, very important part. And anybody who's successful that walks in our door knows that. And I think the third thing is I want people to come in that are want to be a part of something a little bit bigger than themselves. They want to feel like they belong to a community where people are pushing them, where people are trustworthy, where people are honest. And I think those are very important qualities for anybody that walks in here. That's what I look for. I want somebody that can walk in here and be a part of the family right away, that understands kind of how we go about things on a daily basis, and that takes ownership every day of those, essentially those things.
From the second I walked into this place, it's something you and I have talked about 1,000 times. Every single time I walk into this place, the energy, the attitude, the commitment to getting better is the first thing you feel when you walk into this place. You have kids who, whether it's in the cages, whether they're doing their strength training stuff, whether they're working with me academically, that kids are appreciative, they're driven. You hear kids start off every session with their coaches by saying, "Hey coach, good to see you." When they leave, they shake their coach's hand. They say, "Thank you, coach." Those are the little things that make this place different, I think, and why I think the kids and families that come in love it and truly feel like family, and why we love it, because it's way different than anything else that's going on in the way of athletic development.
Right. I think too, when you look at stuff like that, there's no secret. We have nets, balls, turf.
The game hasn't changed.
Right, it's a building.
It's the same thing.
Exactly, it's the same thing. I think the difference is, for me, I like to think of us, like I said previously, as a facilitator for a lot of that stuff. I mean, realistically, it's the kids, parents, and families that are doing the work, right? I mean, you and I are just here to help pass on whatever knowledge that we have in any
Guide
way.
them in any way we
Right,
can.
any way possible. So I think the difference is how the kids embrace it. That's my big thing, is if a family or kid embraces the process and trusts us, you're going to come in here every day.
But I think we have kids who in other settings wouldn't naturally embrace it.
Sure.
This place is designed for these kids to come in here and to embrace it, because when they come in, they feel that from everybody else.
Right.
You could be a kid who's a veteran here for us that's worked out here for years.
Right.
Or you could be a kid that walks in day one, and that kid that walks in day one is going to feel just as welcome as the kids that have been coming in here and that you've been working with since they've been in middle school.
Sure.
I think that's what separates.
Right, I agree too. And I mean, a perfect example is, we've talked about this a number of times. We have Major League Baseball players walking in here, going up to 12-year-old kids that are in the weight room, giving them high fives and saying hello and know them by their first name. And, I mean, I think that when you look at any kid, aside from the fact that they may be a role model to them on the baseball field, when a guy, maybe twice their age walks up to them and shows an appreciation for what they're doing, that's contagious too. And that just continues to fuel, the attitude and the concentration levels in here.
We got college coaches in here,
Right.
college players in here, major league players in here.
Right.
I sat in with 2 families tonight, and Nick Ahmed, who's home now from his big league season, he says to me, "Hey, coach, if you don't mind, I'd love to sit in with the families." Those two kids and those two families, besides the fact that he's playing baseball at the highest level, what they learned about him tonight and through his experience and his sharing of his journey with those families is that he's not any different and was no different than any of the other kids we have working out in here every night. And he's still grounded enough and humble enough to want to sit with them and and share in this experience with all the kids. And those are just a few stories out of hundreds that we're seeing in here every day. And that's what makes this place so special.
I would agree.